Hi there guys, welcome back to the channel. Thanks very much for joining us again today. I have got a short video for you today that will be for beginners on how to use the Wix platform to make a website. So if you're new to Wix, then this would be an ideal video for you to watch as a very quick overview of what's available to you and how to sort of get into it. We have a range of other tutorials on the channel that are very specific that will help you get into the details of things a little bit better. And then also, if you haven't noticed already, but as a link in the description of this video, you're able to access a free trial of Wix as a website maker. So if you're interested after watching the video, click on the link in the description. So when you first sign into Wix, you'll need to make an account and sign up as a new user with an email. Verify that account and you may arrive at a number of different spots. It may look a little bit different to what you're seeing in front of you right now. Not to worry. What you need to find is, obviously Wix is made for making websites, is the create a new site button. So if you're looking at what I'm seeing, it's known as the dashboard. So when you first make a website, if you skip the tutorial by accident, or if you exit in the wizard by accident or whatever, then you'll arrive here. And if you then sign out and sign back in, you'll arrive here, and you can see that if I click this little My Site button in the top left-hand corner next to the Wix logo, I get a drop-down menu and I can see Create New Site there. You also may then be here on the My Sites page when you first log in, depending how you've arrived at Wix. And it's the same here in the top right, is Create New Site there. That would be the first step. You know, you'd need a rough idea of your website layout before approaching it, I'd say. It's always better to have a plan. One thing you could do is sort of storyboard it and draw out the pages and at least list them that you're going to need, the different sections, and you know, what's your website's requirements. Is always better to start with that before reaching this stage. If you have all that information in front of you, it makes this process a lot easier. So draw it out on paper or use a piece of software, whatever you need, and kind of think of the structure and how you want it to be navigated, as well as, you know, what you need, what kind of pages do you need out of it. When you first hit the Create a New Site button, it asks you what category of site basically you're making. You can search here. So if we're going to make a website for maybe like movie reviews or whatever, yeah, so we'll go movie blogger, and then we'll go next, and then it'll then ask us you know, what you want to call it, so the name of your website. And bear in mind, as it says, you can change it absolutely anytime. So I'm just going to call it test for today's example. After you've done that, then it asks you then, very importantly, what you need on the website. And again, you can change it. You know, you can add and remove these sections very easily. But if you arrive here and you know exactly what you need, this makes it a very easy process. So, you know, I'm going to add some videos, a portfolio, and some events, for example. And then I'll click Next. You can obviously skip that as well in the bottom right-hand corner. Here you've got a fork in the road, really, where it asks you, do you want to go straight to the dashboard where we started the video? Do you want to make a custom built site, or do you want to begin with a template? And if you've ever watched a video on this channel before, I usually sort of say go with the template. It's always better, more efficient and easier to find a template that looks close to what you need, if not is what you need, and then evolve it into what you need. So I'll very quickly do that with you today. There's a couple of other videos that will cover the other processes with you as well, and you can see now I'm on a kind of page where I can browse the different templates, and because of the category and the name of the site, it's presented me with sort of movie related templates. You can use a text search in the top right hand corner to look for different templates, and obviously then browse different categories of templates here as well. There's a very extensive template library on Wix, and they're very high quality, and I'll show you in a second how easy it can be to evolve one of these into your website. It's always better to do that. So think about layout, think about design, style of text, placement of menu, as opposed to a content. It doesn't really matter what the website is about in terms of fashion or art or travel or whatever. You could easily change the theme of it very quickly. So if we go for this one, if I like that kind of style of text and background and it looks really nice and wide and it's not sort of too crowded, I can view it or I can edit. So if I select edit, that will now add this to the library of sites on my Wix login. So when I next log in, this site will be saved in the My Sites page. So when you go back to your Wix login here, if I now refresh this page, what you should see is the site should appear. Not quite yet, but it's still making it. But once that site is kind of created and, it'll appear in that list. So you'll sort of own this website. When you're editing and making changes in Wix, it's always good. It's auto-saved, and it's always good then to sort of preview what that website will look like. We'll do that in a second. And then once you're happy with those changes, you'll publish that website, and it's accessible then through a link, which we'll look at in a second as well. Wix is a fantastic platform, but it does have limitations until you start to pay. So you're able to make a website, use all of the features and publish it and make it viewable to the public. However, there's certain things like if you want to connect it to a domain that you've bought, like a custom website name, to connect a Wix site to that, you need to be on a premium plan, and that's around and about $10, £8 wherever you're from. So it's a small monthly fee to do certain things, and that's the kind of basic workflow of it. So in Wix, the vast majority of tools that you'll need to make changes to the site and add and remove things are available here on the left-hand side. So obviously the plus symbol gives you access to the Add Elements section. You've got the Add section. So sections are basically pieces of the website that are boxed in these sort of horizontal areas. So as you can see, this one's kind of highlighted in purple at the moment. There's just one big section there. And if I were to add a section, as you can see when I hover over this area in the bottom, that will automatically open the Add section menu. And then you can see that I've got a vast majority of choices then of preset sections, as I would in the Add Element section. So you'd first look at this sort of first column of the menu and try and find the category that you're looking for of things. So if we wanted to add an image, and then you can see I've got then subcategories within there. You can add images free from the Wix library, free from the illustration library, or upload and import images from a range of locations. And like I was saying earlier, if you want to look at something more specific, such as how to add an image, those tutorials are available on our channel. Okay, so it's just a brief overview of where everything is today, basically. If you can't find something in Add Elements, or usually if you've got a problem to solve that isn't built into Wix as by default, it would normally be found in the Add Apps section. So this is a third-party marketplace where you can literally add apps to your website like you would a mobile device, really, like an app store. And people make apps for Wix as a platform, and it can provide you access to third-party widgets, as they're referred to, as well as social media feeds. So there's like an Instagram app, and there's a Facebook app on here that you'd use to sort of make those platforms appear on your website. You can search for those apps and install them just as you would on a mobile device. So it's a very intuitive platform, and those are updated, and they use a star-based review system out of 5, like Amazon. So you can see sort of which ones are most effective. So one thing that we've done a tutorial of recently on the channel is how to add like a pop-up message to your website, because that isn't really is one example of something that isn't really catered for by Wix extensively, if you don't know coding. So when you search for the word pop-up, you can see that there's a number of apps that you can use to have pop-up messages on your website, as an example of something like that. And then you'd install that by clicking on the app, and you can see then that I get the option to add to my site and go through that process. So yeah. The other thing then to make you aware of is that the third option on the tools menu is the pages and menu section, and that would give you access then to all the pages on your site. You can single click them to preview them and edit them, and then these little dots here will give you access to all of the options and settings for that page. And like I was saying earlier, always have a preview of your site from time to time, and it allows you then to browse it like an end user. And you're sort of in preview mode now. So have a browse around your site and have a look at what it would feel like to browse once it's published. And you can sort of, it's like the testing mode, I guess, so you can see what the blog would kind of appear as, and make some notes and then go back to the editor to change them. And once you are happy then with the preview of it, back in the top right hand corner, you've got the back to editor option there. You see that, the menu is normally located in a header. You'll see that's denoted as an orange box. So sections appear in purple, and then headers and footers for sites appear in orange. As you can see, this site has a header and footer. You can remove them. Obviously, have a look at our tutorial for that on the channel of how to remove headers and footers. And that's one thing that Wix does have. Also, one more thing before we finish is that it's got a mobile device editing mode as well. So once you click that little button up in the top left hand corner, you'll see that you get a preview of what your site will look like on a mobile device, and you can edit it here and make any changes. And that does not take effect then on the desktop mode. So you kind of got two versions of your site. So obviously people are going to access your website on a mobile device. So it's always a really good idea to kind of check out what it's going to look like on a phone or a tablet, for example. There's obviously a lot more to Wix than what I've just discussed today. That's enough for you to get started. I would recommend signing in, going through the process of making a website, using a template, modifying it, and having a play around. Every little single thing on the website is accessible with a single click, and you can see when I select this text box, for example, the options and the tools for that text box appear here, as well as they would for this little video, and that's the kind of system that Wix uses. So when you select something, the options for it appear like that, and just have a play around with it. You need to invest some time into just playing with the interface and finding out where things are and building up a little toolbox of knowledge. And that concludes our video tutorial. So as I mentioned earlier, you've got access to your free trial of the Wix website builder as a link in the description of this video. If you like this kind of content and you want to see more, give us a like and subscribe to the channel. And if you've got any ideas for future videos, you can include them as a comment as well. Thanks very much for joining us.